Hi, everybody. My name's Joe K. It's Joe K Music, and welcome to another day in the underground. Today, I have some very unfortunate news. I'm going to be talking about a situation, and actually several situations that have been happening with a former, that's right, former strange music artist, B.Hood. I am here with Andy the rapper. He's going to explain kind of what happened here, what the situation was, where we are today, and what are some of the things we may have learned from the situation so that people can make sure not to make the same mistakes in the future. Andy, thanks for coming on, man. I'm happy you're here. Let's get this thing kicked off, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here, man. I appreciate you having your time and schedule clear for me to get on here and talk about the situation that I've been dealing with.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. It's we've actually been talking back and forth for quite a while. I know you and I got in contact maybe like a month or two ago. We started talking, and I know you had been reaching out to JL because you had purchased a verse from him.
Yes.
When did you purchase that verse?
I purchased this verse on September 23rd of last year, and I actually came in contact through this verse. I had posted a status to Facebook asking, hey, I need to get in touch with a certain strange music artist. Let me know. I wasn't going to say no names for the surprise, whatever. And I actually went to my homie DOG, Devil or God, out of Lubbock, because he did a song with JL and I knew he had a connection with him. So I hit him up to see if he could get me in contact with him, which he was able to do. So he gives me his number. I'll send him a text. Nothing out of the ordinary. Hey, JL, know you're probably busy, yada, yada. Just contacting you, see how much you charge for a verse. Couple hours go by, he hits me. Oh, hey, what's going on? Not taking up many features right now, but depending on what your verse or what your budget is, what you're trying to get done, maybe we can work something out. So I tell him working on a song with him on a full verse, yada, yada, yada. Just like everybody during COVID, I don't have much as expected, but whatever price you name, I would gladly save up and make sure you get paid as you should. So he originally charged me for 1,000, but after the few texts we sent back and forth, he dropped it to 800, which was cool. So
Okay.
I was like, all right. I was like, all right, bet, cool. So I was like, thank you for letting me know about this price. Give me a couple months to get it back. This was before September when I first got in contact with him, and I was like, give me a couple months to get you the first payment, and we'll get to work.
Okay. So at this stage, then you had agreed on the price. You
Mhm.
agreed on $800.
Mhm.
He was going to deliver a verse.
Yeah.
What was the timeline for delivering that verse? Was it, hey, I'm going to give you like one payment, and then you're going to give me a verse back, and then I'll give you the other payment? Like how was it like set up originally with how the payment and how the delivery of the verse was going to happen?
He was once we agreed on the $800 price, he was like 400 up front and 400 when the song's done. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, no problem. That's professional, no problem with me. So a couple months passed to September 23rd. I send him. I've recorded the song already, had it mastered on my end. I send it to him along with the first payment. That was that. And a couple hours go by, and he's like, bet, I'll get it to you. We didn't at the time when we had agreed on the price. I had stated, I know you're probably busy, so I don't want to rush you, put a time constraint on you. I was trying to let him breathe because I know people got shit to handle and take care of themselves. So there was really
Mm-hmm.
no time constraint, but I was like, if we can get it within a couple months max, that'd be badass.
Okay. So up until this point, you've agreed on the $800. You kind of have a timeline, but you don't really have one set in stone, right? I mean,
Right,
you're
right.
it's kind of flexible as of right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about what happened after you made the first payment, and then what happened after you made the second payment. What were you
Second payment.
expecting, and then what actually happened?
So after the first initial payment at September 23rd, a month passes, or a couple weeks actually, October 10th, and I have gotten paid within the past few weeks, made more money than I expected. I had paid all my bills, helped my family with what I needed. I had an extra $400. So me trying to be professional, however you'd want to call it. I'm honest, nice person. I don't want to try to fuck anybody over or short them over. So I send him the other $400 before I get my end of the track, thinking, hey, maybe he'll get it done to me faster. He'll be paid, no worries. I'll get my verse whenever.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand where you're coming from there, and I've heard that from other people too, where sometimes they feel like maybe, these rappers have a lot of things on their plate. They have
Mm,
other features that are going on,
yeah,
and they have other people that are making partial payments or no payments at all, and so
right,
they're gonna
exactly.
obviously want to prioritize the people that have paid in full, especially in situations where maybe there's not a date set in stone here.
Mm.
Um, so you get to this point. You've paid all this money. You've paid them the $800 now. At which point you said this was back? You said this was back in like September, October, right, of
Yes, yes,
2020.
yes.
So
He was. Sorry to interrupt you, but basically he was fully paid off within a month or less.
okay, so he's fully paid off last year, and I guess how did things go after you made that last payment? Like what ended up happening?
The first initial track I sent him, it was recorded at a place I wasn't really satisfied with. So he had hit me up saying, hey, he's gonna try to get in this week, yada yada yada. I was like, okay, cool. I got this track re-recorded. I'm gonna send it to you once it's touched up, yada yada yada. If you want to take whichever version in, it don't matter with me, but I will send you the better version. The 10.6 here is when I sent him the
Okay,
file on this email right here of the updated track.
okay, and now we're in May, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
so I wanna backpedal even a little bit from today, right? So right before you and I got in contact with each other, what efforts did you make to reach out to JL directly? And were you successful in any of those attempts? Did he respond back? Did he just ghost you? Like, what were those communications like?
So after I sent him the updated version, it had been a couple months, whatever. I had sent him a text at the time letting him know, hey, keep me in touch with the verse, yada yada yada, blah blah, stay safe. So then he hits me back with an email on day after Christmas, December 26th. Yo, you should have this verse to you tomorrow. I apologize for all the bullshitting. I respond to him a couple hours later. Ain't no thing, bro. I know how shit can throw us off our wave. We don't matter who you are. Much love. Can't wait to hear it. And that was the last I heard from him. So I sent him a follow-up email saying, yo, well, I'm staying safe. Just wanted to check in on that feature and see how it's coming. Let me know.
Okay. Okay. So it seems like he didn't just completely up and ghost you. There were some communications that were
Yeah,
happening in
uh-huh.
between there prior to even you and I getting in contact, right?
Right. And the plot twist to this, he did respond the same day, a couple hours later, February 22nd. And he responds with, thought I already sent it, bro. It's recorded. When I get back to the crib, I'll have the file sent over to you. To that point, I'm kind of like, that's an eyebrow raiser. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Were you initially ever going to tell me that you sent this over, or if did I not contact you right now, today, right here, would I still not have known that
Did
my verse hasn't been sent or didn't get sent through? You know what I mean?
right. So he said he recorded the verse, but he hadn't sent it
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. February 22nd. Thought I already sent it, bro. It's recorded. When I get back to the crib, I'll have the files sent to you.
Okay. Okay. So then some time passes, right? And I'm sure you're getting a little antsy as far as like when is my verse actually going to hit my inbox here because now
Yeah,
you've paid $800. You've been tied up for months waiting for this verse. There's no delivery date, which we're going to talk about. but
yeah. No,
but
definitely.
but at this point, you've put out a lot of cash and you haven't got anything back, and now you're starting to get the runaround. It feels like so.
Right.
He's saying the verse was recorded. So did that ever change? Did he ever say like, "Hey, now I need to re-record the verse," or like, what was the story there?
Next email, 3 days later, February 25th, I said, you ever get a chance to send that yet? Just, a little follow-up email like, hey, don't forget about me. You told me
Mm-hmm.
something. What's up with it? And up until March 7th, I got no response. Same thing. What's up, bro? Just checking in, seeing if you ever got a chance to send that verse through. Let me know. No response. March 15th. What's up, JL? Just checking on that feature. Was wondering if you could throw me an estimate of when you can send it my way whenever you're free. Let me know. Stay safe. Still no response. Oh, wait. No, that was. I initially messaged him March 9th, no response, then jumped to March 15th. Later, March 15th, my bad, G. Gotta record that bitch or re record that bitch. I got you. For sure. Just keep me posted.
now we're starting to get a little interesting. You know, now things
Yeah,
we've gone from I recorded it, I just didn't send it over to now I need to re-record it, right? So I'm sure at this time, like, are the alarms starting to kind of go off at this phase? Like,
yeah.
are you getting a little
Mhm.
concerned?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm like, okay, I get we get busy and stuff. And what actually implements more of a fucked up factor to this is that at this point, I believe he had already dropped another feature with an artist known as Michelangelo Schero, and a full-on like feature project. He was featured on like three different tracks of, I think, an artist from my area, San Antonio, San Marcos, as well. Ice Cold 91. Him and Stevie Stone were both plastered all over that collab, but I still had yet to get my single 16 bar verse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean the hard thing with those two, unless you may know those artists, it's hard to know like what was the timeline of when they
Time.
got those verses
Mhm.
too, you know. So it's hard to
Yeah, no,
speculate,
definitely.
but still, like the perception. If I'm you, I'm kind of feeling salty about it. Like I'm seeing all these other people get their verse, and I paid, and where's mine? You know what I mean? So
Right,
I
exactly.
definitely get what you're saying. Um,
Mhm.
so you and I end up getting in contact, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We
Be
wouldn't be
here.
here
Yeah,
today
yeah,
talking about
definitely
this.
doing the video, right?
Right. And when I think I was either tagged in something or one of our mutual friends like linked us
Yeah,
together and was like, "Hey, there's a
yeah,
situation because I've just got done covering the whole Gadamus
got him a
situation, you
situation.
know?"
Yes, yeah,
And now we have another former, and I think this is important too, a former strange music artist,
yes.
B.Hood, who is off doing his own thing and apparently just taking rappers' money and not giving out
Not
verses
giving, yeah.
and not doing it consistently. Maybe he's giving it to some people, but there's a lot of them that are slipping through the cracks. And I would love to know if you're watching this video right now and you paid for a feature from JL and you haven't received it yet and it's been over a month. Comment down below
Please,
because
yeah,
I'm sure.
please let us know. Please let us know.
Yeah, because I would love to know how many people he's ripping off. And this is the kind of crap that just it's a bad look for the underground. I've said this a million times, right? I don't want to repeat the same thing I've said in like my other episodes and stuff, but it's a horrible look for the underground. It's a horrible look for strange music in the sense that there aren't big major announcements when these artists leave. And I've said it
E-
again and again,
Exactly.
people like
And
like like when you bought the verse, and maybe at the time you bought the verse because it was so long ago, maybe he actually was still on strange music.
he had just dropped his album, The Devil Hates Sundays. Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
exactly what I was like. I need a verse. Yeah.
yeah, and then things, they go out for so long, and then somewhere in between there, now he's no longer on strange music, but
Strange music.
you don't even know. You're not going to be, he's not going to tell you that, you know what I mean? Like, did you even
Yeah,
know throughout
exactly.
this that he was did you even know throughout this whole process that he was off of strange music? Like, when did it hit, or like when did it connect that, hey, he's not even on the label anymore?
It actually connected when through the past few months we've been communicating and we've been following our leads with people like, yeah, he's really not signed anymore. He's not affiliated. Like, there's been a lot of cookie crumbs that are now making the big ass cookie of that. A lot of artists aren't really signed to the label no more, as the label are having people believe along with the artists themselves, which I find a shady aspect, because it's like, yeah, this artist is leaving, but let's continue to try to make money off them and their fan base. And the same thing through the artist. Fuck, I just got fired or I'm leaving my label, but I can't let anybody know because that's going to affect me in some type of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. That's the conundrum that everybody gets put in. Then, I mean, it's unfortunately for strange music, it makes them look bad because they're not announcing. And I know people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's fine. But I really feel
Yeah, no,
like with what's been happening, they need to start announcing when people aren't on the label anymore so they can separate themselves from all of this BS that's going on behind the scenes with these artists when they leave and do their own solo
yes.
thing. I mean, look, you and I have been talking, and I want to make sure that we let people know too. There have been several communications between you and JL,
Mhm.
between me and JL. I've literally, like, I've texted his business
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
I got a response back from him. I've reached out to him on social media. Like, I've reached out to him everywhere,
So yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
literally everywhere we could. Yeah,
I've had
yes.
like other people like in between, like play middleman and reach out to him for me. Like that's how I got his
Yes.
contact
Yes.
information and got his number to begin with. Like I didn't get it from just you. I got it from another source because they were going to meet with him at one of the shows and asked him like, hey, can I, I'm meeting with JL. Like, I'm like, hey, can I get his info? Can you ask him if that's okay? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Gives me the info and I reach out and then he gives me a reply back like, yeah, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get him to, I'm like, hey, Andy, the rapper is waiting for his verse, man. What's going on? I was super professional about it. I wasn't trying to be a douche.
No, you weren't. No. Very
Like
professional indeed.
you've seen the messages,
Yes,
like
I've seen. Yes. There's nothing unprofessional and disrespectful about them,
yeah.
There's
And it's
not.
like, I'm trying to do the right thing so that we're not having this conversation that we're having right now. But
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
unfortunately, when artists aren't going to deliver, then it now becomes my obligation to share with the rest of the underground that, look, there's a rapper out here who's collecting money from people and he's not delivering product.
Exactly.
So now we're here. We're in May. You still don't have your verse. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, right?
No, there's really not. And it's goes to all the people who are going to say it. Yes, I should have got a contract. Yes, I should have had it in paperwork. I learned my lessons the hard way, sadly enough. And I mean, I realize that now. I have someone running my merch table at this King ISO show I just did. I had them under a contract. I know them personally for months on end. I still did the paperwork to avoid a situation like this. I already have contracts made for future features I plan to buy. Like, I get it. You need this stuff handled down so you won't have to get to this situation or go to court or whatever. You can just pay the artist, get your product, and it's all fair because it's on paper.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man. And I think if like you said, and I don't want to beat you up either, but when it comes down to it,
No,
it's
of
like
course.
the thing that people can learn from this experience moving forward with any artist, right? Any kind
Yeah.
of business.
With any business dealings involving money and people, like anything in general, you really
Yeah, get the contract,
get a contract. Yeah,
get
get a
terms.
contract or written agreement, paper. Just
Yep.
it don't gotta be deep and complicated either. Just price, what you're paying for, when you want it by.
Yeah,
and
then
it's there.
you can hold more accountability too,
Accountable,
because
exactly.
when things are done, one, without a contract, and then also there's no date of delivery, it kind of screws you because now you're left on the hook, and it's like, well, when is an appropriate time for me to be upset that I haven't got the product delivered?
Right, exactly.
And that's what people are going to argue here, and they're not wrong for that. But what I would
No,
argue,
they're not. They're not.
What I would argue is you have communications with JL. He's giving you his word that he's going to deliver this verse for you tomorrow, today, next week, next month.
When he's already been paid, like the payment agreement has already been settled,
Yeah, and he's said this several times, it's always tomorrow or the next day,
Yeah, it's a whole new excuse.
He said the same thing to me. He's like, I'll get it to him tomorrow, like that, or next week or whatever. Like it's the same spiel. That's where you start kind of losing that credibility, because now he has given you a date, even though you didn't, maybe set one up out the gate in paper and get it signed. He's now giving you a date, and he has not delivered several times on that. So
exactly.
The other thing too, like making sure we're going through the proper channels. If they're a strange music artist, yes, you're going to end up paying a little bit more doing it this way, right? But with the extra money that you pay, you have more of a security blanket for when crap like this happens. If you go through the actual label, yeah, they're going to tax you because they want their cut too.
Right, exactly.
But it gives you something to fall back on, so that if that artist is dropped or that artist doesn't deliver, you can go after the label who actually has some. They like, if you actually really wanted to take somebody to court, they're going to be the ones that probably have the money to be able to pay you back.
Exactly.
If they're liable, but then it also gives them that motivation to give you the product. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So people, I have never heard of somebody purchasing a verse through Strange Music for any other artist and not getting it delivered. I've heard, though, people going directly through the artist and not getting product.
Getting delivered.
That's That's the problem. So I just want to be clear on that. You know, I know people that have been watching the vlog know I've been covering a lot of stuff about strange music. I don't hate strange music. I just,
No,
I'm calling
no,
it how
we
I
don't
see
hate.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't hate strange music either. You know, I just feel what I'm doing what I feel is right. You know, with this situation. You know, like
Yeah.
don't
No.
fuck up where I fucked up at. And
Ab-
people who do this as a business and profession, they need to be held to a higher standard and keep their shit in check when it comes to dealing with people's money and giving them products and other shit like that. You know what I mean?
at the end of the day, he should have delivered this verse like 10 times, but he didn't.
Yes.
And
Yes. Yeah.
and here's the screenshot of the payments. So the first payment here, September 23rd. The second one, October 6th. Both of them for $400. You can see who it's paid to. These are all legitimate accounts. And like I said, if you're a rapper and you've been ripped off by B.Hood, comment down below. I would bet money on the fact that there's probably going to be at least one or two or maybe even three people out there that haven't gotten verses from the guy.
JL, yes.
So, yeah, I mean, Andy, man, thanks for coming on. Andy the rapper, I appreciate you being here, man, telling your story. You know, at the end of the day, all we can do now is learn from it.
Yeah, definitely.
And do it differently next time, and do our best to try to hold people accountable
Yeah.
for doing bad business.
Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you having for me. And I totally agree with that. You know, like get your contracts and paperwork, get your date set when you want your return product by, what you're paying for, get it down on paper. Avoid my screw up. You know, that's all I'm trying to do with y'all, trying to save y'all from going almost full year of not getting the verse back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
harder.
I think too, like just knowing the dispute timeline and like what can actually be disputed through the different ways you can pay for things, because PayPal has different policies than Venmo, and Venmo has different policies than Cash App. You know, your credit card has a different policy than all of those. So depending on what it is, like know what the policy is before you set up those terms so that you're protected in the event that you don't actually get product back. It's very hard with virtual goods like this. That's not a physical like product, unless you're like saying you need to send me a CD with, you know, or like a thumb drive or something
on it.
Yeah. You know, it's difficult, but at the end of the day, moral of the story: don't do business with B.Hood. Do not do it. I would stay clear of that guy right now until things start getting settled here. JL, if you're watching this video, all you got to do is start delivering verses, man. You've already been paid. Deliver the verses. Look, if you make this right by either giving refunds or doing verses, I'll do a whole nother episode. I will have you on here and we can talk about you delivering. Yeah, dude, we'll have a big party of all the people you've been ripping off back on the vlog, and we can all talk about how they're getting their verses now. I would be more than happy to do that. So
we can preview the tracks too. Yeah, we can preview the tracks too if you decide to sing the verses. So please.
Whatever we got to do to try to, you know, clean your name up after all of this, I'm willing to help out with. But right now, man, it's not looking too good. So Andy, again, thanks for coming on, man. Everybody, my name's Joe K. It's just another day in the underground. See you guys next time.